Yeah, I'm going to have to go and practice it for 10 minutes, to be honest. Yeah, I've been practicing it most of the day. I haven't even, when I've been practicing not potting the balls, I've just been practicing my break a lot, and still, it's.
Well, you're not going to want any lessons off Jimmy, that's for sure.
No, that's not the best start for Jimmy, but
no, less than ideal. But sorry, you carry on, Tom.
Yeah, I'm just going to have 5-10 minutes, but it's one of them. I could go and break like anything in the final, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. Just hit him hard and hope the white stays on the table.
Yeah, well, that didn't let you down in the semi, did
No.
it? Super performance, and well, we're going to let you go and get ready for that big final.
Cheers,
Congratulations on a fantastic performance, Tom. And our second semi is up on deck, and it should be a really good one, this one. Jimmy Croxton against Declan Brennan. Declan comes into it as a bit of a hot favourite. It would be an underdog victory for Jimmy Croxton. But we talk about Jimmy's first break not being ideal. That first shot from Declan also far from ideal. And there's maybe a little bit in this first frame already, as we welcome back in Simon Webb to be joined by Tony Holgate to take you through this semi-final.
Thank you, Stephen. Yeah, this isn't necessarily the semi-final I think any of us were expecting to see. I mean, we were expecting to see Declan. He's when every tournament we play, but especially when the tournament was announced to be races to 12, Declan becomes a player that you kind of keep an eye on. I think this is really well set up for him because he can play at such an extreme level for prolonged periods of time. But Jimmy's just not had a season, really. He's been dogged with injury. He's struggled for form when he has managed to get out there, or still been hampered with injury. So this is really kind of Jimmy's season here, and this tournament alone, in all honesty. But he has got an opportunity to do something very, very special tonight and win his first Ultimate Pool professional title. But he has got two tough nuts to crack in Declan Brennan, and then if he was to do that, Tom Cousins. But it is going to be Jimmy, after a terrible opening break, that has a good chance here in the opener, as Tony has refreshed himself and come back into commentary.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
I'm very, very well. Looking forward to his second semi-final. Yeah, Jimmy the Joker Croxton on home soil. This is his home club.
Yeah, and he's got a handful of people come in to sort of cheer him on and support him.
Didn't know he had any supporters, let's be honest.
Well,
poor old Jimmy. No, like you say about his season, this in a nutshell, yeah, this is probably his 18 months worth here, all in one show. But he has been in fine fettle. Been very impressed with his pool. Overrun that one though, but this is a different animal of an opponent he has this evening in this semi-final. Declan Brennan, he's one of what you call the elite pros, and also a man in very, very good form, as we've seen all weekend.
yeah, Declan's got himself back into the upper echelons in the rankings. He's had 4 finals this year. He's won a title. I think he'll be disappointed to have 4 finals and only win 1, but you keep putting yourself out there, keep getting in those finals. He's got himself up to 4th in the rankings. Victory tonight sees him go 2nd, behind only Tom Cousins. Tom's a runaway number 1, but it's Declan's back where he belongs. He's got such a big game, such a consistent game. He's not on this, is he, Jimmy?
No.
And that's quite big. You can pot this, but I don't think you can get back round. I think just in time.
Yeah, he was in time, that one. He had one in the quarterfinals where he wasn't.
Yeah, he was out by about 3 seconds, and I was surprised that it was.
Yeah,
full.
it was even more than that, I think. It could have been 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Declan has the ability to select the right shot at the right time. One of his strengths.
A little bit short on that one.
He was, and I'll tell you what, can Jimmy just swing that cue ball around the 8 ball just slightly and just try and make that cuttable into the corner? I think he's going to try and dig down here with a bit of right hand side. No, he couldn't, so he went for the length of the table double, and he's a fair distance out with that, and that will just give Declan, just take the edge off this finish, just with that yellow just dropping onto the rail. It does, you know, you look at it, okay, well, I'm not leaving an absolute sitter finish if I do make a hash of this, even though you think, well, this is sort of a 98 out of 100 that Declan would get this finish, maybe even more.
Yeah, I think this is this has worked out really well for Declan. He started his quarterfinal so well, just taking out a couple of really good finishes from the break. But, you know, there's a lot of pressure on Declan because this is a, you know, major semi-final. He wants to finish the year strong. He wants to finish with a title. But he knows, you know, everybody else will be talking about it. You know, he was a big favourite for the quarterfinal, and he's a big favourite here for the semi. But it doesn't play out like that. And, you know, he needs, if he starts off solid here, gets himself that 2-3 frame advantage, you can see him playing just some brilliant stuff. But if he gets under it early, it's exactly what Jimmy wants to try and do. He could be a man under pressure.
Well, not messing about, Declan Brennan.
Yeah, didn't make most of his first opportunity in that frame, but second time round, no problems at all for the Northern Irishman. And it would feel somewhat fitting if the final event of the year was going to be a final between Tom and Declan. Tom has been the player of the year, but Declan's certainly in the conversation with, I think, 2 other people for kind of the player of the year apart from Tom Cousins, whatever we'll call that.
We're back at the reprieve round again.
The reprieve round, including John McAllister, who obviously bowed out in the semi-finals. John with 2 titles this year. You know, he's run himself right up there. Craig Waddingham 2 titles this year. You know, with Declan 4 finals. You know, I think you know, it's just a brilliant achievement. And if he's able to make it 5 finals and 2 victories, I mean, what a season that would be for Declan. Wants a ball, gets a ball, gets a good chance as well.
Yeah, for a split second looked dry, and then that red coming back up the table. So it's another red sort of shunt it into the middle. And there we are. Boom. And reds will be the colour of choice for Declan Brennan.
Red balls in play.
His old mate will be wandering around somewhere, Ronan McCarthy.
Yeah, past him as I was making way to the commentary box. He was about to sit down behind Jimmy. I say, you're supporting Jimmy for this one.
He probably would as well.
Yeah.
That's the thing to wind Declan up. They do have some fun, those 2. Also, can't get a flight at all back to Northern Ireland this evening. Still the tail end of that Storm Dara. And cancelled flights, delayed flights, so they're going back tomorrow.
Extension call. Just a touch fiddly, but it's not too bad. Pretty straight, with cue balls coming down the table. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. He was hoping to hold to the right-hand side of that yellow and have a straight in top left, just pull it back to play right centre. Now he's going to have to find a really high tariff pot.
Going for the cut in the middle. No, he's not. He's gone upstairs.
Yeah, that's a big error from Declan. We weren't seeing much like that in the semi-final or previously in the tournament. Not got off to his clinical start.
Semi-finals now, though.
Yeah. But those shots are just horrible though. When you're treetop like that, and there's no, especially in English pool, you can't get this. The cue ball being smaller, there's just not much to go at.
No, it's true.
It's pretty horrible.
I don't think Jimmy's been too fortunate. Can he see the yellow onto the right hand side? If he can, he's okay. So he played to move the yellow off the rail, which he achieved, but it then sort of glued to the cue ball and went with it into that little cluster. As you can see, I think Jimmy might be okay to snip the yellow into the bottom right and keep himself at the table. And he's back in decent position now.
Fizzing it round the table. Well, that's okay.
Yeah. Feels like the Jimmy Croxton Christmas special. They sort of come round once a year, don't they?
It's a cracker.
It is.
I just had to turn that one over. That's okay. On the one below the 8 ball. Well, I think he is. If not, go the other way and swing it around. He's going to swing it around 2 cushions either way. Goes for the 3 cushion. Does the job though.
Yep, nicely done by Jimmy.
We're all square at 1-1. We've used 11.5 minutes for those first 2 frames as well. And Jimmy's quarter-final against Phil Harrison was cut short because of the match clock. And similar sort of scenario here, the opening 2 frames, just using up a decent amount of time. Something to keep an eye on. So I expect, especially Declan, but I expect both players to get into a rhythm of first visit finishing and the match sort of speeding up a little bit. If you are watching us here on Facebook, then make sure you come join us across on Ultimate Pool TV. We're going to be with you for a couple more frames of this semi-final. We'll see the rest of the day. We'll see the final professional title of 2024 handed out before the night is out. That should be around 10 o'clock for the conclusion, 10:30. If you want to come over to Ultimate Pool TV, if you haven't already, you can sign up using the promo codes UPHOME2 or UPHOME20, get a discount on your first month or first year. There is plenty to enjoy over the course of the next 12 months, so I would advise going for the year. Lots coming up. Still got the mixed pairs before the year is out. Champions League starts early next year. Lot to enjoy. So I spoke to Jimmy after his quarter-final victory against Phil Harrison, as he gives us the full teapot here. And I was talking to him about his break, because I've spoken to him about his break quite a bit this weekend, and I said, you were missing that front ball a lot through, the early part of your match with Phil. And he said he's actually trying to do it. He's essentially front ball cut breaking. He said he really struggles with the cut break, second ball, and he's sort of had a chat with Gareth Potts, and he advised him to, if he wants to cut break, Gareth hates the cut break by the way, he should try front ball cut breaking. So that's what he's doing. He's trying to hit that front ball half ball and come underneath the centre
guy's
pocket.
winding him up.
Well, I did think that when he told me, to be honest with you. After 3 breaks in the... After 3 breaks in the quarter-final, he's changed and went square on front ball and actually started breaking a lot better. So I'm surprised to see him start with this front ball cut break. But
Next you'll see him coming off the side cushion, back cushion, and up behind the pack, because Gareth told him to.
That's 2 strange shots on the drop from Deck.
Yeah, it's a fair description. Strange. There's Ronan, look. Bottom right-hand corner there, sat there. Obviously over in Decky's side of the room.
Well, Jimmy's friends have done the same thing. They've all gone over there as well.
I've told you, Jimmy hasn't gone.
It's quite tight, but he's okay. Here we go. They're all here to cheer on Jimmy Croxton.
They are indeed. They are. The locals here in Newcastle under Lyme. Elliot there, I saw. Watching on. Regular in the club here.
Yeah, big character.
He is. He is. I had a couple of pints with him last night. And we have a mutual friend in Australia, John Russell, and also Jake McCartney, 2 mutual friends. So we FaceTimed John Russell and got him out of bed. But it was the morning though. And I won't say what JR said. He used to play for Australia, and he was the Australian manager. And a larger-than-life character in Oz. He called us a pair of, well,
can you say
it? Flaming Galahs. Well, it wasn't Flaming Galahs, but it was along those lines. It was good old Aussie banter.
Yeah.
Bless him. So if he's watching, a big hello to John Russell. And Jake McCartney, of course, who was an ultimate pool professional while he was over. Well, he still is, isn't he?
Still is. He won a title this year, won a Pro Series title.
Yeah, obviously, other side of the world. Paul Clack, of course. Another one from Australia. He's just gone back for Christmas now, or a couple of months, I think.
Well, we're talking about all that. Declan has made the finish, get himself back in front, 2-1. I was crunching the numbers, Tony, whilst the first semi-final was on. I thought I'd do some research into Jimmy's season, just because he has struggled because of illness and injury, and for form. He's won more matches this week than he has for the whole rest of the season combined. How about that for a statistic?
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah. It's, he's really down in the rankings because of it. He's fallen down to 37th. And yeah, as I say, a lot of it was down to he missed a few tournaments. He turned up to a few tournaments without really being able to play properly, and ultimately, took a few losses where maybe he probably shouldn't have played. But yeah, it's good to see him return to form.
Decky trying to go off in that top right-hand corner. It's gone dry again, though. Decky's break's gone for a walk somewhere at the moment, so it's not in the arena with him.
Hasn't left much.
No. No, he hasn't. Extension call. So Jimmy sort of eyeing up that yellow down the table, but he's certainly not going to play that. Say opting probably for safety. I don't think there's enough room, but if Decky could get off that top rail and clip that yellow in at the top there, he'd have the frame at his mercy, but I just don't think he has enough of that top rail to get round the red.
It's sort of a risky one, though, isn't it? Win or lose on one shot.
You could do it this time in the match, can't you, this early? You don't want to do it at sort of 10-9.
Is he teasing Jimmy to go on reds here? I think the red he's next to goes in the centre. Is he tempted?
Really depends what comes after. I think both of these players are hell-bent on getting yellows, so they're not even looking at reds at all.
I think reds are okay. Obviously the red on the top cushion's a problem. He did go for it as well.
He did, because he had the angle to kick the really bad one out. Not gone, but I tell you what, what's he left?
He hasn't left much. He really hasn't. Really delicate red in the centre.
There's a yellow going off the red in the centre.
Horrible shot though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Maybe he's got a yellow to if he's got a yellow to right centre, maybe that's an option. But the yellow now nearest the left centre doesn't go to left centre. He's going to take on this tricky red. Big shot for this frame.
Oh,
beautiful, creative, executed, beautiful shot from Declan Brennan. Very nice indeed. Clean as a whistle. Now pick your route. I think I'd be tempted to get rid of the red left centre. Just it's quite guarded. Just get it out of the way and deal with the ones on the right hand side.
yeah, agreed. Decky agrees with you as well. I'll get rid of the other one in the centre now as well. Just try and go up just slightly past the red at the top there so you can screw the keyboard down the table. Off the red at the top. More. That's perfect. So if you screw all the way down, just past, say, the black spot there, so you can just cut that red in and have the black in the right-hand middle.
Perfect. Well, the early jousting in this semi-final. Declan Brennan's going to get the better of it, winning the last couple of frames. A little tactical exchange at the start, pushed the boat out from Jimmy, and Declan did the rest. The double was excellent to open things up, and he takes an early advantage, 3 frames to 1. If you are watching us on Facebook, then we are going to leave you now and be over on Ultimate Pool TV for the duration, for the end of the tournament, end of the season as well. If you want to come over and join us, then up home 2 and up home 20 get a discount on your first month or your first year, and we will see you over on Ultimate Pool TV.
Jimmy Croxton's break. Try 3 frames to 1.
Does Jimmy stay with his front ball cut break, or does he change to the front ball square on? I think he should change. Hasn't had much success with this sort of half ball. It was a little bit in between, really. Very close to the right centre and going and off, but he'll take this outcome every time. And these are the situations where Jimmy's been fabulous this weekend. Just getting into these sort of layouts and just being very clinical with them. We both commentated on his first match when he came onto the TV, and he was as good as we've seen him for a while.
Yeah, he was very clinical. For the first game we watched him play, he was picking out some fabulous finishes. Today was against Phil Harrison was a bit more of attrition, and then we saw towards the end of that match when it got to sort of the 15 seconds of shot which had to be deployed. It was Phil who suffered badly with that. Got himself on the right 2 and 8, if you like.
Yeah, did.
And that's when I turned to you, didn't I? And I said, do you make Jimmy the favourite now? And you said, yeah, absolutely, when it gets down to 15 seconds. And you were proved right. Jimmy just has to make sure, like these early frames, we saw it in the first semi-final where Tom Cousins got away into a great big lead at the start of the match and John McAllister could never recover. It was just, there's the gap, and now we can stay like that, and Tom picked his way to the final, as you'd expect him to do in fine style. John McAllister, you have to say, was very unlucky, especially with the break.
Yeah, very much agreed. These feel like long matches. You feel like you've got lots of time, and you have, but every frame matters. Important to sort of, especially if you're coming into it as the underdogs, important to just stick with and stay. I think we caveat every time we talk about favourites and underdogs, though, and in ultimate pool terms, it's very rare that matches aren't much more than coin flips. It's just the players that go on and win tournaments, they win more of them, don't they?
Well, Jimmy's managed these yellows very well indeed, and this finish. So staying well in touch with Declan Brennan.
Yeah, that was very nice. Touch fortunate with the cue ball on the break, but the split was beautiful and very nicely done. Back within 1. Both players now in rhythm and going nicely. Deck's left a couple of sticky layouts on his breaks so far. He's had 2. This is break 3 for Declan. That's a little bit more like it. And a pretty good leave as well. In fact, no, let's go better than that. It's a brilliant leave.
Yeah, there's nothing in Declan Brennan's path that's going to stop him finishing these yellows, apart from if he makes a colossal mistake. And he'll be very keen to get himself back into his 2-frame cushion. Wasn't playing for that little bump. But does the yellow go past red into the top right? If it does, he's had a bit of a result. Does go into the top left though.
Doesn't really want to play the one bottom right, but he might have to.
Yeah, agreed. Oh, that's such good control. To play that with the cue up in the air from that distance between cue ball and object ball, to pull it straight back like that. I mean, that's easily, you could send the cue ball in any direction you choose. You could go in off all over the place. Brilliant control.
It looks nothing as well, because all he did was put a ball that was hanging over the pocket and pull it back, a 1.5 to 2 foot. But
yeah,
you're absolutely right. I mean, it's so tough. I mean, even Jimmy tapped the edge of the arena when he saw it.
Yeah, they're ridiculously hard. Just to control like that going in a straight line, You know, because if you do not hit absolutely pinpoint the centre of that ball when you're screwing back, you're going all over the place. You can come off the table. Any miss hit there at all, miscontrol, you're in trouble. An outstanding shot, which has given Declan Brennan now the frame at his mercy. His 2-frame cushion is going to be restored. And these two players have suddenly just picked it up a bit.
Yeah, early couple of frames, wasn't it? A little bit of down to the fact we're in a major semi-final, a little bit down to the balls just being a bit sticky out there, and now they're both up and running and we're seeing some finishes. It changes anything for players when they're playing second semi-final and they know that, you know, the runaway number one is the player in the final. You know, did you ever get a sense of that when you were in a sort of similar position?
No, because I want that many semi-finals. No, I made a few semis, and I don't think you do, because you're that engrossed in trying to win your semi-final. You don't care who's in the final. That's another day. Well, it's not another day, but it's another match.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a totally different mindset. If you know, let's get. If I'm Declan, I'm thinking, right, put everything into Jimmy Croxton. I've got to get past Jimmy.
Yeah.
Stop him having table time. Manage this match. Get through. Then I'll think about Tom Cousins. And obviously, it's a whole different ball game altogether, because nobody can manage Tom Cousins. It's about, well, and hopefully Tom Cousins makes a hash of things or gets a load of bad luck.
Oh dear, that's not good. I think he should. I know he cleared the previous one, but he had to ride the centre pocket to do so. His break doesn't look a good break, does it?
That's not a good break at all. It's very thin off that front ball there. That's not a cut break. That's a, I don't know what it is. I have to say it's a bit of a, I don't know. It just doesn't. It looks foreign.
Yeah, he'll probably make the run out here though. And if he keeps doing, you know, it's similar on the last one, which I'll admit it was a better break, although the cue ball was close.
It looks like a break I'd see quite a lot in our local Wednesday night pub league in Bude.
He is trying to do it. That's the only difference, I imagine.
The people
to
who
your
do it, they're not trying to do it. They don't know what they're trying to do, some of them.
Well, hit it as hard as they can.
Yeah.
So about as far as I can go with it.
I'll get some stick now when I get back in Bude. What are you saying about our breaks?
It isn't the worst chance, though. It wasn't a great break, but yellow by the 8 ball. It's a little bit sticky, but other than that, it's not bad.
Yeah. It looks like when you see him in the public, as soon as takes an almighty run up at the pack, and then they hit it as hard as they can, and like 3 balls just come out and dribble up to the halfway line of the table.
You know you're in for a fun frame then.
Yep.
Hits the... Oh, if he hit the red, he was perfect. It's still not bad, but he's working hard here. It's a great pot, sort of digging a hole here. Yeah, this is tough.
The head shake, and he sees mate Liam White there just looking on in the crowd. Actually, he beat Liam White on the way here.
He did, yeah, last 16. How has the cue ball found its way in that top left-hand corner pocket?
Yeah, unbelievable. Off that red. Went in like a rocket.
Yeah, gives Declan cue ball in hand anywhere on the table, so he can go short position on this red that doesn't go bottom right. And everything else has a pocket. Chance for 3 clear. think whatever else happens in this semi-final, you know, if Jimmy doesn't kind of get going and turn it around, you know, it's very early days, of course, I think he'll be obviously be disappointed. But I think when he'll look back at this, obviously he didn't know whether he was going to be able to play again, let alone compete at the highest level. The fact that he's back and he's, you know, in a major semi-final, he'll be so buoyed up, ready for next season. It's a great end to the year for him.
Well, you know, I kind of joked about it because Jimmy is the joke, and he will laugh about it now. But like you said, we went into it a little bit last night. It was very, very serious at one point where, you know, he might not have been playing pool sort of thing anymore. You know, it was scary.
Yeah,
very scary for Jimmy and everybody else that concerned with Jimmy. But he is here and he's recovered and he's back, and you know, I for one am very, very pleased for Jimmy, and it's great to have him at the forefront again after his layoff.
Yeah, agreed.
But your health is more important than games of pool, and thankfully Jimmy's through all of that.
This is slightly tricky for Declan, trying to kill it in.
He's played that really nicely.
Yeah, he's done well.
You know, I don't like them, just those sort of like gentle dribbles along the bottom rails.
You want to play a little bit firmer, but you can't because the
you
keyboard's
don't.
going too far. And he's worked it all well.
Yeah,
So
bit of check side on that one, pumped it in.
Side of the pocket, but in it rattles. And he goes 3 clear. First half an hour very much Declan Brennan's favour in this match. 40 minutes to go. Declan needs 7. Jimmy still needs 10. At the moment they're just playing chances, just playing pool. See where it ends them up. What's been your highlight of 2024? It feels like that time to reflect on the year, doesn't it? The end of this is your final match on commentary of 2024. Tony, we've enjoyed your company.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed being here for all these tournaments. My highlight, ooh, I don't know. There's been quite a few, to be fair. I'm going to have to think, which is going to hurt a little bit.
I think the 6 red shootout in the mini-series will stand out.
Yes, yeah, that has to be there. Love the mini-series.
Yeah. Oh, that's the break. Oh, it's not though. It's going to be dry. Oh, it's going to be worse than dry. Oh, how has that happened? Right down the middle of the table. Perfection on the strike.
I'm going to say, out of all of it, I think the first pro weekend we had with the Rasson Apollos, because that was when, for me, it just changed the game. And it just made it, you know, and watching the professionals going out there with this whole new table to play on and not prepared.
Yes.
And I think that for me, because it was quite, you know, intriguing to watch, you know, and we're talking, you know, Chris Mellon and all the best players, and quite a few of them were, you know, wanted the change and just...
Be careful what you wish for.
Well, yeah. And I think that for me, you know, that does stand out, because that first weekend, all the 4 days of it, while they're playing, and you could looking at the players' reactions when they hit one down the rail and it's just come away a little bit, and they walk for the next ball and it's still there, you know. And also that weekend, because Craig Wardingham and Sean Chipperfield were fantastic as well, the 2 winners of that very first weekend, and just to see those 2 players playing winning those tournaments in the manner they won them in, you know, it was great to watch.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good case for it. I think that was pretty special. Bit of a game changer. In an ideal world, would Jimmy like to have kept this yellow to connect to the one over right centre as your last 2 balls to get nicely on the 8 ball down the cushion? Possibly. Don't know if he was playing a gap previously or not. But he's had to use those 2 to get himself in positions. He might not get nice on the on the 8 ball here.
No.
I suppose he still should. Just drop this in, then go left centre. Helps if the yellow middle of the 3 goes bottom left to me, but he's going to go left centre.
Yeah.
Jimmy's worked this well. He has got himself right behind the 8 ball. So he's put together a very nice pattern and a very nice finish. Jimmy misses very few pots out there.
Yep.
Such a good curist.
Decisive for a wonder. Heartbreak of the season. Heartbreak of the season. I'm going to go for Arfan Dad putting the black to win.
Yeah.
To win the last event and finding an in-off from absolutely nowhere.
That's not just heartache of the season. That's the toughest roll we've seen in 4 years of Ultimate Pool, without a shadow of a doubt.
Because I didn't see that in-off come from anywhere.
No, I'm still in shock now.
Yeah, I did feel for Arfan.
Yeah.
Jimmy off for a chat with his adoring fans. As he went over there, so why are you over that side? I think it's actually because the door nearest to the bar is actually over that side.
It absolutely is, yeah.
And seeing Elliot over there, who likes the odd pint. He's on the far left there, stood up. Jimmy's mate. Also a good mate of Orrich's as well, our referee. Well, one of our referees. He's not refereeing this game. I think he might be on. I think he might be on in the final.
Might be, yeah. Jimmy keen to get going. Does he stick with that break? That's the big question. I don't think he should, but I think he will. He broke so much better in the in the quarter when he changed to the head on. Oh, he has changed to the head on.
Yeah, that's better.
That's the one.
Well, it's a more meaty split.
Yes, he's driving the power through the pack and
Made a
controlling it well.
Nice cue ball, all of it. Ball in the middle. Cue ball's in the middle of the table. Thank you very much. Choice of colour.
Yeah, tricky.
What more could you ask for, eh?
He'll probably ask for the balls to be a little bit more in the open. Little bit tricky here. Decisions. Probably yellows. Oh, definitely yellows. Red nearest the cue ball's awkward. Go yellows. You've got one near the right centre, and that's about it. I suppose you've got the one a bit higher. That doesn't go to its natural home, but you could get short side or play into it.
You could get on it either now. You could clip this yellow in up at the top right, load the right hand side, get on behind it and play it in the middle, or pot this yellow and then play that same ball but from a different angle and get behind it into the middle. Now then, he's gone a little bit on the old thin side here. He might have to just come into this now. I don't know if he can cut that yellow in and hold.
I don't think I don't think that works that well unless you land absolutely perfect on it. Because how do you get out for the next yellow? So you might just be forced into rearranging the furniture a little bit here. Well, he has held, but unless he's dead straight.
Well, or come too far and then punch it in off the top rail. But yeah, no, I agree with you. What he can do, he could sort of just, if he hits a cue ball just below centre here, just a little bit of left hand side, try and push it behind those two reds, and he can get the yellow into the bottom left hand corner, like thus.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank you. I thought I played it rather well myself.
It's dealt with that little mini problem quite nicely.
Still not home and hosed by any.
No. It's a bad angle again.
Shape or form, yeah. It's got to dig deep here.
Get enough bite on it to stay above the reds. Always come down the bottom cushion to get there, but that's beautiful.
Well, the red's in the way of Jimmy coming off this yellow and kicking into it. But can he drop it into that middle? Yeah, he can.
That's what he's playing for.
Well, he hasn't got much run with the cue ball here, because he's going to have to go in pretty softly. I wouldn't advise him trying to be a bit cute and play too much here, trying to get too far out for the black. He's played that brilliantly. Lovely control there from Jimmy Croxton, and it's going to be 5-4. He's hanging on to Declan Brennan's coattails.
Yeah, very nice back-to-back for Jimmy Croxton. And back within one.
He just had a cup of tea delivered over, I think.
And his turn to leave the arena. There's nothing that Declan can do. Nothing your opponent, when your opponent break clears or you break dry and he clears, that's part and parcel. So just wait for the next opportunity. He built a mini lead and that's disappeared. And now you have to start again. There is the Racing Apollo that we've been talking about.
Super table.
Yeah, all available on Home Leisure Direct. They are beautiful tables. That table you're in, I do get to pop out there. I film a little bit of content here and there, and a few fun and games with the players, normally on a Monday night. So I get the odd shot out there. Beautiful table. Looks like Jimmy's back, so we're ready to get back underway. Oh, he's on his way back. Declan will want the same break as the last one, but he wants the result to change. Same quality.
Dry.
It's all drying up for him. He didn't have spells of this in the last couple of matches he played out there. He was very consistent all the way through. He's having to deal with a little bit on his own break at the moment.
Going on to the yearly highlights, I thought of another one. My favourite finish of the year.
Okay.
Fraser Allen for Scotland at the World Championships in the shootout, the buzzer beater.
That was crazy.
The last three balls of that finish was absolutely nonsense with 1 second to spare.
Yeah, that was bonkers.
For pure excitement and just, and the atmosphere there at the shootout as well, it was brilliant. A full house.
Well, yeah, it was special. Declan may have broken dry, but there's no future in this frame, so Jimmy doesn't want any part to play in it, which tells you, because Jimmy normally would. Jimmy's very aggressive. And we've gone past the halfway point in the match, and we're not quite there on the scoreboard.
Thought for a minute you said pint.
I probably did.
I thought that was my cue to leave. It could be, well, I'm not going to get to 12. Maybe after the end of this frame, which this could suck up a bit of the time. All suits Tom Cousins in the final. Let them wear themselves out in this semi-final. Well, Tom's got his feet up. Just waiting for a result.
Yeah. I often wonder whether it is an advantage. I suppose it only ever depends on how you spin it. This time round maybe carries more weight as it's a much longer match, but that's all for debate and discussion when we get to the final. Right here and now, Jimmy has decided enough is enough. Let's go. And 2 great shots to give him the opportunity here to tie the scores up.
And I'm with Jimmy. And he has suddenly burst into life in this frame. And this is a great opportunity for Jimmy Croxton to get level with Declan. There's a couple of people out there earlier today who were thinking this could be quite a one-sided affair in the favour of the man from Northern Ireland.
I just don't think in these matches they can be. I mean, we will see them obviously, but I don't think you can predict that. All we can look at is the form and where they are at the moment, and absolutely, beginning of the tournament, Declan was one of the top 3 or 4 favourites for the tournament, and Jimmy wasn't, where Jimmy's been this season. They came into this match this tournament having only won 3 matches this season. But he can turn everything around here and now, and he's almost certain to tie the scores up. But Jimmy's a fabulous player.
Made short work of this in the end. I thought this was going to be maybe a marathon frame. As soon as I opened my big mouth, the frame was over.
Half chance was left from Declan Brennan, and clever shot to open things up from Jimmy.
Yeah, it was.
Now we're back all square. Jimmy has the next break.
Just checking he is 5-all. Yes, you are, Jimmy.
I wonder if he was just checking the clock, going a little bit. Maybe he felt there was more time left than there is. Both players need 7. There's a long, long way to go. He switched to the square on break on the head ball. Imagine he'll stay there because it was excellent. The break clearance that followed. Back to the half ball, but it's okay. That red does go in right centre where the yellow doesn't, so reds may be the play here. I was originally thinking, how do you work the yellows, but I think reds are the way.
Yeah, playing the cut now into the middle with this red.
Not sure if the nudge was needed, but the only ball he could pot was the one he did and had lots of angles. So used the nudge, made it work to his advantage. Now plot your route.
Well, I think you have to drop the one in over the bag now. I think the two reds pass into the left-hand centre as well. So an opportunity for Jimmy. Could Jimmy Croxton write the ultimate fairy tale story?
It really would be an amazing story, you know, for what he's been through this season to come out the other side. Set up as a 3-ball plant, but never going to take that. Who has not played a good shot. Was he trying to slide by that red to take it into the centre, maybe? I'm not sure. Slightly strange shot from Jimmy.
I'll screw into the yellow now.
Oh, that's a wide. I mean,
It
Jimmy
is
is
a wide.
such a good cueist. That's a proper wide. Didn't even hit the jaw. I think he was queuing that up with side just simply because he couldn't get to the centre of the white. And then side just made the cue ball throw more than he was expecting.
I'd like to have screwed that in and kicked into yellow and probably knocked the yellow into the middle in the same shot and just use it to hold. But now Declan Brennan let off the hook.
Yeah, things were just going Jimmy's way, weren't they? He just had a little bit of momentum building there and might have let it off there with that miss.
Well, the last couple of frames we haven't seen it very much of Declan Brennan at all. He's just been sat there. And play the plant next into the middle. Just when we thought Jimmy was going to get himself just in front, he's handed the reins of this frame back to Declan Brennan. Looks like it's going to be the man from Northern Ireland who's now going to edge nearer the final. Like we said before, it is Tom Cousins who awaits, the #1 ranked player.
Was always going to be punished. Once Jimmy made that mistake, he just opened up the table enough on yellows. No mistakes from Declan. He's back in front and has the next break. So that was a break of serve. Needed that. He was just starting to have it get away from him a little bit. Now he's back in front. Jimmy will be really disappointed just simply because that was such a good chance. He'd worked the balls well in the first 2-3 shots and just let himself drift into a bad position in the table and make that pot harder. He couldn't recover. Normally so good at those recovery pots. Deck's break has just gone off the boil from what we've seen in the previous few matches. The execution looks good, it's just the results.
6 frames to 5.
It's really deserted him, isn't it? The break is gone.
Yeah, it's quite a wonder, isn't it, how a break deserts you in the middle of a match or a tournament. But it does. It just, once it happens once, it seems to just glue itself to you for a period of time, and all of a sudden it usually couples up with your opponent start to breaking well and gets loads of chances. It's a pull phenomenon.
It's frustrating.
Yeah.
When you're a pool player, it's very frustrating. Not for Jimmy Croxton right now, because He's getting more first visit chances than his opponent.
Yeah, but he's got to make him count, because the last one he didn't. For me, Jimmy looks like probably it's not the case, but looks like a player who'll put a couple of balls and then stop and then remap. Or he doesn't look like he's sorted out his finish right from the off. It looks like he sort of does it on the job
and evolving. Yeah. I think if he was honest with himself, that's where he could really tidy up his game. Especially considering the quality of player that he's got around him and he's been practicing with for the last few years here in this club in particular. His sort of decision making and shot selection on patterns, at times he kind of gets himself a little lost, although that hasn't felt like the case at all this weekend. I think his patterns have been brilliant. Transitional shot coming up. Needs to get quite a long way down the table here. Doesn't want to be high on the next yellow and then struggle to get onto the last yellow. Oh, he might snooker himself. Does the yellow below the 8 ball go from where he is? I don't believe that's the ball he was playing on.
No, definitely not. He cut the one in underneath the black, yes. And like you say, he wasn't playing to be on this one.
It's all okay though. 8 ball goes in the same pocket, so he just has to essentially miss the first red on the way out here.
Yeah, playing with a tiny bit of left-hand side here just to try and straighten the cue ball up, which he has done. Played it perfectly. 6 all.
Yeah, very good from Jimmy Croxton. Back all square. Both players at the halfway mark. 22:48 left to play. Jimmy's going to be pretty happy with the situation right now.
Yeah, he's right in it.
He's right in it. He's got an opponent that's struggling with their break at the moment. And he's really got himself right in the mix in this semi-final.
Yeah, he's definitely the happier of the two players, that's for sure.
Agreed. He's getting more chances than Declan at the moment.
Likes to give it a huff and a puff and it's a tough old day at the office today, but I'm battling in and just told himself a joke.
Yeah, he just suddenly laughed. I don't know if someone's in his ear.
Yep. Well, Jimmy Croxton to break. 6 apiece. 22 minutes and 48 seconds left on the match clock.
Well, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. The break looks so much better when he tries to do that. I know he lost the cue ball a little bit there, but he was losing the cue ball going the other way around anyway.
Yeah.
Just feel like there's more power driven through the pack. Pretty much a case of go yellows or play safe. Doesn't have a red on. I mean, you can see the red on the right hand side, but you're going to cut that in, so it will be a yellow. No.
Oh, it's hung.
Refuses to fall for him. And Declan can go reds if he wants to, but now that yellow's taken that top right corner pocket, it does make reds a little tricky. Depends on the two yellows in the triangle area for me. How easy are those two? May well still just be yellows here, I think. Looks like he's eyeing up the reds. Happy enough with the red on the right hand side as a drop in the middle. Probably. And get somewhere sort of middle of the break line.
Just looking to see where he wants to go. I mean, is he going to pot this and punch into that yellow that's in the middle of the table? Is he going to slide in and go behind it? Ooh.
I think that's what he was trying. He was playing the shot you called that into that yellow.
Well, he's not played it well. He's clipped the red first, and that's where he's landed. And now he has to come downstairs for the red over the bag. And all of a sudden,
It's hard to get on the next ball.
Yeah, it is.
Really hard. Well, it was. He plays it beautifully.
again, this is such straight queuing with the cue ball, a long way away from the object ball. Okay, he had all his hand on the table. We saw that when he's near the cushion earlier.
Had to pinch the pocket on that one as well.
Yeah,
That was an excellent shot.
certainly was.
Just slightly overrun that one. Wanted to be absolutely straight in.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to dig this. I think you just drop this in and play a thinnish cut, because you can bring the cue ball off 3 cushions to be on the black anyway. So no need to try and take a little bit of a liberty with this in the middle. That's fine.
He agrees with you. He doesn't necessarily have to play the 3 cushions either. He could just drop this in and be slightly further away.
Yeah, good point. But it'll go 3 cushions anyway.
Yeah. I think the reason being the drop in probably left him pretty close to the cushion, and the three cushions was wide open.
Yeah, you couldn't snooker yourself unless you went all the way down the wrong end of the table. So, and Decky gets back in front.
Yeah, now we start to turn our attention back to his break. What does he do? Does he change it up? Does he try anything different? Does he just go, do you know what, I'm hitting the break great, let's stay with it?
Well, you know my feelings. I'd always just stay with my break.
Even if it was really falling apart?
Yep.
Your break's your break?
Yep. My break's my break. Live by the break, die by the break. There you go. There would be various sort of points of elevation of my arm and running into the balls and levels of how hard I hit it.
Yeah. Adjustments, just not major movements. I think he's changing. Is he changing sides? Was he the other side earlier on?
I don't know.
I think he's moved across a little bit.
It's almost like you're saying, maybe I'll get more luck this side. You know, it's just the balls
That's better.
Yeah, but the balls are still just as round on that end of the pack than they are on the other. So that's me anyway.
That's your penny's worth. Reds look good here. Delicate one in left centre, and then it's routine, you would feel. Oh, he's eyeing up the yellows. I suppose yellows are fine as well, aren't they?
Yellows are, because that yellow next to the black goes in the bottom left.
Yeah.
And an easy ball to get to it as well.
I mean, reds are on one shot, aren't they? That's it. A little bit further than I thought he'd come, but I thought he'd try and land straighter, which is why I said delicate one in the middle, because then all he has to do is stun it in. The one that's bang smack in the middle of the table, then that's away, and then you're done.
Yeah, and you can't run into this red that's in the middle of the table.
Yeah.
Taking a long one now. I don't blame him, that was the easier way to go.
Yeah, that's nice. Take this one in the corner.
Because these two had to be got rid of at the top. Those two reds at the bottom are perfect where they are for the finish. And Declan's making a move. He's heard the bell and he started to kick for home.
Good visit this, good break, and
just drops on the yellow here, just very, very softly. And would slip past it. Thought it was going to just roll onto it. Makes no difference.
2 clear and 4 away for Declan Brennan. Back into the ascendancy, back on the front foot. Be pleased more than anything else that his break has just returned. That was excellent. Wants that to stay.
I mean, the break, it's all the time. If your timing's right, plenty of power, the balls are moving around the table, it's then in the lap of the pool gods. Everything's colliding with all sorts, and you just want that bit of run. The faster they're running around the table, and the more balls that are running, the more chance you've got of a ball going in.
Yeah.
And that's the way I look at it.
Agree with that. If you can hit it with that sort of power.
Now then, what we're going to see from Jimmy. The front cut break, or the front break.
Oh, it's teapot time.
Teapot time, yeah. I love that.
It's okay though. I mean, it's not really opened up for him, but he's made a ball.
Full teapot. Waited, there it is. There it is.
He thought it was going to be dry.
I thought it was going to be dry. A dry teapot.
Nobody wants one of those.
No.
Big visit this for Jimmy. He's going to take him on. 2 yellows by the 8 ball. A little bit awkward. Not sure if he can see enough of the right-hand one to play the plant.
I go into them now, off this yellow. Pays your money, you take your chance. There's a yellow over the bag, there's 2 nearly over that corner. I find it hard to believe you're not going to land on a yellow. I'm not saying career into them 100 mile an hour, but about 88 miles an hour.
Oh, he's missed the pot.
And he missed the pack.
That's what's unusual for the last couple of chances he's had, is that Jimmy's missed a couple of pots. He's normally so clean on his potting. Hasn't left anything. Oh, this is horrible on reds.
Yeah, Decky will be glad he's 8-6 up and not 8-6 down at this point. Just probably double this down the table. Try and put this red in the way of yellows. A nice little friendly bump. Hasn't stopped the going into the pocket, but it's just putting that red there at the bottom of the table gives him just that extra option should it arise. Now then, Jimmy. He still has an angle here. He can have another go at getting into these balls in this cluster.
Decides to go slower.
Yeah, he's going to play the plant now. He's obviously decided that he can get into the yellow and the black off one of those yellows that are near the bottom rail. So, right. So you think this next shot now cuts the yellow in the bottom left-hand corner, brings the cue ball into yellow and black. Black will push towards the left-hand middle. Well, he didn't connect with the yellow at all.
If the yellow passes the red, This is absolutely fine because
Yeah.
the yellow goes right centre and the 8-ball goes left centre.
Not sure that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, I'll take it if it works. But he's looked at this from both sides, so this must be very tight. He can clip the other yellow into bottom right. Oh, well, it's tight past the yellow, not for the pocket. He's just bending it a fraction.
Yeah, he's swinging this a bit.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's
very
brilliant.
good. Excellent visit to the table for Jimmy Croxton. Very, very good clearance, that one. It was an awkward set of balls and he made pretty light work of it. Back within 1. 13-11 left to play. Next stock's going to be in play again for Jimmy Croxton. Right now you'd rather be in Declan's shoes, but it's very, very tight. Declan's one in front and the break. Jimmy is hanging in there.
Well, he's very calm, is Jimmy.
Yeah. Heard him say there, he's playing all right. Missed a couple of chances, but he's feeling good. Big 13 minutes coming up for Jimmy Croxton. Can he get himself back into another major final? He's already been in a couple here with Ultimate Pool. Year 1, lost in the Grand Slam final to Stevie Dempsey. And then he lost in the Masters final to Scott Gillespie a couple of years ago. Been a barren year this year, but he knows he's capable. Knocking on the door once again for the Joker. Tom Cousins is the man waiting in the final for those that are just joining us. He beat John McAllister in the semi-finals. Huge performance from Tom. Again, he's been very, very good as always. Not a surprise in a race to 12 to see him make the final. Declan's taking his time.
Maybe he's trying to run the clock down.
Someone
8-7 up.
Someone should tell him. Actually, he's back in the arena now, ready. Just waiting for the referee.
Jimmy doing his shoelaces up.
Is he getting himself ready for a 6-red shootout? Just getting them tied up nice and tight, ready for running around the table.
Might be thinking about it.
There he is.
Pair of Croxton specials.
Oh, that's a Declan Brennan special.
Oh,
Wowee.
look at that for a split. He nods his head.
Wowee. He'd go bad set here and be fine.
Yeah, Declan Brennan nods his head. I said, yes, that's what I wanted.
That's the spot. Stay there. Well, I think that's the layout of the weekend. I mean,
Certainly up there.
it's as good as it gets. It's as good as it could ever possibly get. Quite incredible.
Looks more confusing now because it's so easy.
Yeah, they've all gone over pockets. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
ball passes to bottom right, so right centre, left centre, leaves him straight in bottom right if that's the way he wants to go. It really is, I mean, as good as it could possibly get for a professional player.
There's Christoph explaining how he fluked that black against Ronan at 11 all yesterday.
I'm surprised they're even talking now.
He said, "What do you mean it was a fluke?" He's saying how he, I played for that.
Deciding frame between those two.
Yeah.
In the, what was that? That was the qualification match, wasn't it? For the
It was the only one running when we were on our last match last night.
Yeah, the last 16, wasn't it, to get through to the quarterfinals today, and went all the way to a deciding frame late last night. And you described it well earlier, Tony. Christoph missed his opportunity, Mr. Black, to win it, and got lucky. He went safe. Ronan snookered him, and he got out of it, and did it again, and he fluked it.
Yeah, it's the description you get from Ronan. It's quite amusing. You can imagine.
Yeah.
Left me nothing. He's left me nothing. He says, and then he's come out and he's cut it in. He says, ridiculous.
Christoph coming up short against John McAllister in the quarterfinals. Jimmy asking Declan to break for him, the way he broke that last one.
Well, still plenty of time. Just over 11 minutes left in this match.
Oh, that's very nice from Jimmy.
Red ball middle bag. Why do you need somebody else to break for you when you can break like that? That's a fine layout for Jimmy Croxton.
Yeah, this is every bit as good as the previous one. Less balls go down, but the layout is just a dream again. Going yellows. I thought he might go reds here.
Must admit, I looked at reds initially, and I stand by that. I'd have taken reds.
Yeah. I mean, yellows are absolutely fine. It's just gut feel, and reds just looked a little bit simpler. Last 30 seconds before we hit that final 10. We get down to 15 a shot.
There it is. Be after this shot.
I thought he went yellows because he wanted to keep the yellow over bottom left as his connection to the 8-ball right centre with a big pocket red. Moved the yellow a little bit earlier on, so just had to play a better shot onto it. No problems.
No. So we're looking at 9-8.
It is. Two very big breaks, those last two. Back within one. The Joker can see the funny side of it.
Yep. A man of many faces.
Yeah, just looking at the scoreboard, the time left, what's got to be done. He remains the break behind, but it is only one frame. A lot can happen in these final 9 minutes. Happiest player in the room right now? Tom Cousins, I would imagine.
Absolutely.
You'd be thinking, you guys carry on. You have a 6-red shootout as well. Why don't you?
Yep.
I'm okay. I'll go and warm up. –
Great break.
Yeah, not as big a split as the previous one, but he'll take it. It's still very, very good. If these two yellows together, three in a line at the top, both or all go top left, I think yellows are good, but if he has to go reds, then get on that red at the top of the table and would be the problem. But I think all these, well, certainly two of them go, and then the third one can go the other way. But if the top one goes as well, then it's fairly routine. And he's playing it, so it must do. Two brilliant splits back to back here for Declan, isn't it? Right when he needs it most.
Yeah, certainly wants it now. Just to keep Jimmy Croxton at arm's length. Restore the two-frame cushion. Declan Edge is quickening the pace because of the shock. Clock now being 15 seconds. Another player, no stranger to it, so you're not going to see Declan panic at all. Just does things in a bit more like a double quick fashion. Nothing really to do here, much just keep control of that cue ball. Right, we'll look and see how far up he wants to be.
Yeah, you still get time to do that. You just got to be pretty mindful of the clock, make sure you don't get caught the wrong side of the table.
Well, that's short, a tad.
I think he's okay.
Yeah, it's not a problem, but
just kill it in.
Just being hypercritical over here.
Just gone under 7 minutes to play. This is for two clear. And it goes. Two clear, 6:45 left. And in Declan's mind, just got to keep saying to himself, if I keep doing that, I'll be okay. But he would love to get the bonus of an opportunity on a Jimmy Croxton frame. Jimmy with the next break. If Declan gets to the table, he's got an opportunity to kill time, make it messy, or make the finish, which could break the back of the match. And with no golden breaks in play, so it makes the match clock even bigger factor.
Yeah, it's about 10 or 15 minutes ago. Declan made it just a. He was in a little bit of strife, and he pinched a frame and then had a little burst and got those two clear, and he's just stayed there. It's been two clear, one clear, two clear, one. You know, they're exchanging frames. But it's Declan that has his nose in front at the right time. Any false move now from Jimmy Croxton, and it could spell the end.
Croxton's break. 10 frames to 8.
Like you said, Sonny, the third frame in front. You know, only wanted one away, but he then completely dictates this. He can just.
Yeah.
He has the clock. He has the frames on the board. He has it all.
Oh, cue ball.
Cue ball's fine, but he's not going to make a ball.
So this is the opportunity that Declan was looking for. If he could get to the table.
Full teapot.
Yeah. If he gets to the table, and he has, then he has an opportunity to control destiny here. Reds are good. He's looking to see if that red passes the yellow. If it does, then reds are very good. It looks tight. If it's that tight, is it worth the risk?
Certainly not.
Comes up high. This is about moving the yellow, opening up that red. The reds at the bottom are fine. He's not worried about those. Oh, Declan.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he thought he could push that in with side. He had to borrow a tiny bit of pocket there onto the jaw because he was very close to that yellow.
It's not the worst result for him, though, because he hasn't left it particularly easy at the top here for Jimmy.
Plays a combo. Gets a combo, and the nudge, not enough. Wanted a thicker nudge.
Oh, he's unlucky there. That was such a good effort.
Yeah, a little wry smile there from Jimmy. Yellow down the rail. Has an angle if he needs to move that yellow up the top. Do it right now.
This time he gets it, and he is on one at the bottom of the table.
Yeah. He has a choice. Yeah, I don't mind this one because he gets the red out of the way of the black. Oh, but he doesn't want to block that, and he hasn't. He's been lucky.
He has been a little bit fortunate. I thought he was going to float it in, and then leave, not move things too much, and work himself back round.
Yeah, that was more of a jammy Croxton than a Jimmy Croxton again.
Yeah. Fortune favours the brave.
Well, he has to go. He's got no choice. So
yes.
That's it. Give yourself a shot, Jimmy, and he has. Plain roll the ball down the rail into the pocket. Black's in the middle.
Oh, so good! What an out this is.
Great finish.
Best out of the semi-final, and it keeps Jimmy Croxton in the semi-final. If he loses that frame, he's in a world of hurt. That ramps the pressure up onto Declan. Absolutely ramps it up.
Yeah, enjoyed that there, Jimmy.
That was very, very good. Nothing he can do, though, with Declan at the table, but Jimmy is certainly putting the pressure onto him. If Declan had found a way to win that frame, and he probably feels like he should with the chance he had there at the start, the match would essentially be over. But what he has to tell himself is he's still 1 in front with 4 to play. If he makes a break clearance here,
yeah,
it will do the job as well.
Dry break and a reverse dish from Jimmy, and it's Jimmy breaking off to maybe win the match.
Yeah, that's the the pressure out there.
Semi-final drama. Who is going to join Tom Cousins in the final this evening?
Needs a ball. Needs a ball. He's not going to get one. It's dry at the wrong time here for Declan Brennan. The chance is Jimmy Croxton's. Doesn't have an opening ball. Not a clean one anyway. He needs to get creative here.
Can he play yellow onto red onto the 2 yellows?
Or can he swing it off the oh, he's going to go for this one.
So he's playing cushion into the 2 yellows.
Plant. Great shot. Now the yellows look great. Excellent opening ball for Jimmy. Keep an eye on the clock here. He wants to be mindful and leave as long as possible for his own break coming up. Eight ball's just in a slightly sticky position. Was there an argument once he's opened up the top end of the table with that first shot to come down, deal with the 2 at the bottom and leave all the work at the top to get on the 8 ball, because you want to get on the 8 ball from high?
Well, then all these people, let's say all these people, there's 1 or 2 that thought this was going to be one-sided affair. Well, not at all. Jimmy has had other ideas, and he's pulling out all the stops.
250 left to play.
Well, we've not seen a 6 red all weekend.
This is awkward. This is awkward all of a sudden. Oh, that helps. What a nudge. What a nudge that is.
Wow.
Perfection.
He's gone upstairs. He's missed it.
Oh no, Jimmy. You could not get better on it. I'll go back to my statement at the beginning of the frame. Once he had opened up the yellows, should he have left the yellows at the top of the table to get on the 8 ball to the bottom right rather than top right? Easy to say from the commentary box, very hard to be that clear of thought out there at 15 seconds a shot under the pressure of the situation.
I wondered if he could have took the black in the middle.
Yeah, I thought he might.
He's
but
right
it
behind
was,
it. I was tight, dribbly shot, but
I think it's more of a queuing shot up to the top.
but then he's been knocking in the balls down the rails brilliantly, isn't he, Jimmy? So why not keep going?
That one to the top of the table is very much a Jimmy Croxton style shot. Right now, Declan, though, has it all in his own hands here. If he clears up, he wins the match. If he can just control himself, and he probably can just run the clock and not worry about clearing up. So just pop the 4 open ones. 1:25 left. He's used his extension. Probably does have to get on that red, because he only has to leave Jimmy 2 or 3 seconds with the 8 ball being over the pocket. And that's not a good shot.
No.
That really is not a good shot.
No.
He's left it too straight.
Screw with a load of right-hand side, spin the cue ball up.
He had just enough angle, but he can't get good on the last red unless it squeezes past the 8 ball.
It will go cushion first. That will definitely go. Cushion into the black ball, and it will go in.
That's what he's played for. Well, there's 37 seconds left. It comes down to this. Will Jimmy have a chance to steal it away?
Well, the handy bit of this is the cue ball's going to come away from that pocket, which will help should he get it off the black. Oh, it went clean.
Just went clean. And Jimmy Croxton has conceded without Declan Brennan even having to pot the 8 ball.
I'd have made him play it.
And yeah, that is brilliant from Declan. A great match. It really was a brilliant match. Jimmy Croxton played his part, but it is Declan Brennan that goes through and will take on Tom Cousins in the final of the Pro Cup.